This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Jeep Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Drippin' Jeep podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Jeep, and with me is Host Drip Media Gaming. We record these podcasts live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On today's episode, Corporate Greed! Drip Corporate Greed makes a return on the show. But first, before we get to the Corporate Greed, we're going to be talking about some Pokémon Legends. ZA was announced. That's fucking awesome. We also have the other Pokemon announcement, which is that little mobile game. But again, we'll get to those specific details in just a moment.
There was huge announcements, dude. Huge Pokemon announcements all across the board.
We'll talk about the lackluster Pokemon announcements as well as the...
What do you mean lackluster?
Don't be a jerk now, Drip. This is the intro. Shush your mouth. We're talking about that stuff.
Come on, sleep, baby. Let's go.
Drip ruining my intros. We're just going to run it here. Drip, how you doing this week? Ruining my intros 2 weeks in a row.
I told you take too long. You're going over too much stuff. Let's just get on with it and talk.
Let's disagree. I disagree,
Whatever.
man. And here's why. Because I have music in my ears that you don't have. And when that music is done, is when I'm done. So and it's only 45 seconds.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
It's a 45 second. I know I'm kind of good at my job. So
this is why I control the music, so I can hear it as well. I don't control that part. So it's like, well, because maybe if I start that music.
No. Here's why you shouldn't. Because you are incredibly hard to get to do what I want you to do, because you're like squirrel brain.
But if I have a predetermined track that you have already made at a length and I just press the button and you start hearing it, you can just react. I don't have to touch it anymore.
We'll talk about it, but
I like it. But listen,
we'll talk about it.
This week has just gotten better.
We've only been doing this for 142 episodes. Let's change it up now. Why not?
Yeah, let's change it. Yeah. I like it. Let's change it. The week's been decent so far, getting better and better.
Yeah.
You have had a very up and down week.
There's
mostly down, but
no
going
ups.
Back up.
No ups, but the only up is sitting here
thing
right
about
now.
Where you're at in your week right now is you can't get any lower. The only place to go from here is up.
Oh no! Trust me, we can get lower. I'm very thankful.
Going up.
I'm very thankful that my lowest lows are only so low. They're not lower than others. Other people have the lower lows. I'm thankful that my lows are only as low as they are. Anyway, the PC broke. You guys may have seen it. I posted it in the community tab on YouTube or in Discord. The old PC runs this stream, edits the videos. She kicked a bucket. And luckily, the issue was only minor, of course, because it's a tower PC. I'm going to show you guys if you're watching this podcast. It's a
power supply.
It's just a power supply down here, located right about there. And, I just hit my microphone.
I'm not going to lie, dude.
Yeah.
I was so worried that I was going to have to edit one of my own videos.
Well,
damn.
I mean, you might have to if the Feed the Jeep doesn't come to fruition anytime soon.
Listen, it's happening. It's happening. Feed the Jeep. Hashtag Feed the Jeep. Oh, yeah, we started that. We haven't talked about that on the podcast either.
Yeah.
I am streaming on Twitch, and we've decided that all my streaming money, all my sub money, that's how I'm going to start paying Jeep. So if you want to support my videos being edited, the stuff that I put on YouTube, get over there. Drop some biddies. Subscribe.
I like food.
The dude's got to eat. The dude has
The dude's got to pay for this power supply. Come and get it. Dude's got to pay for this power supply that I just had to pay for the other day. But luckily, that was all the issues, not just nothing.
Yeah, I'm glad that was all.
I was afraid maybe it was a motherboard, but I talked to my tech support uncle. I talked to Hero a little bit about it, and yeah, it's absolutely just. I said tech support uncle. I feel like he'd be offended if I said that because he is so much more than a tech support guy. But he knows about
tech support uncle.
I was just being short with it. He's a tech professional. He's the guy. Anyway, way overqualified to determine what was going on my PC, but he helped me out with that.
Cool.
So appreciate you, Unk. What do the kids say about Unk? Is that still a thing?
Sure, yeah.
Thanks, Unk.
Thanks, Unk.
Or is that a Philly thing? It might be a Philly thing. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Anyway, Pokemon Presents happened, Drip, and we're not going to show any footage of that because the last time we did that.
We are not.
They said, your video belongs to us now, Drip and Jeep. I'm like, I don't like that. So we're not going to do that. But anyway, Pokemon Presents happened, Drip. It was only 12 minutes long, which was a bit short. I was disappointed by the length, if I'm not being honest with you. But the Pokemon Company does have a history, as far as my opinion is, with watching their Pokemon Presents. They're very short and to the point with their announcements. and it's a lot better than a Nintendo Direct. Not that Directs are bad, but they cut out a lot of fluff with the Pokemon stuff. Like I feel like a 30-minute Pokemon thing would be just as much content as a 45-minute Direct. So 12 minutes, while short, I still think they put a lot of announcements in there. But let's talk about those announcements specifically. We're not going to get to heavy hitters yet, Drip, because let's just wrap up. Was there like 6 announcements total?
Dude, listen,
and the first
all
4,
of this was fluff.
The first 4,
all of this was fluff except for 2 things.
Right.
All of it.
Like 4 of the announcements were like garbage. Out of the first 4 things up until the new game, which I'm not sure, is it a Pokemon trading card game 2 situation, or is it literally I don't really know a lot about it.
I think it's just a new version of I think it's just it's a new way for them to make money.
Right.
I'm wondering, okay.
So let me just say what it is, Rip. It's a mobile game.
Go ahead,
from what I understand from watching the Pokemon Direct one time, is that it's a mobile phone game, and it's a trading card game. So obviously there's gonna be microtransactions. You're gonna be able to buy these packs yourself. Oh, the whole thing is like you swipe your finger across the screen to open a pack. Pretty satisfying, not gonna lie. So there's like some feedback as well for it. But the reason I like it a lot, guys, is number 1, you get 2 free if you play. You get 2 free packs a day, which like that's actually that's pretty pro consumer. Like you don't have to buy packs. You can just take your 2 free ones and you can survive with the game. So that's really cool. The collecting aspect, they're trying to brand it as like you're collecting these virtual cards just like you would a physical card, and they've added extra artwork, which is my number 2 cool thing about it. The artwork is it's immersive. It's not just a card with artwork. There's little flares and visual things they've added, but beyond that, they've also expanded the universe of the picture. So like if you're looking at like one of the original Pokemon cards with like Pikachu on it, and you can like expand into Pikachu's picture, and you're seeing the whole Pokemon world through that lens of that artwork. That's the best way I can describe it. It's super awesome. I don't think enough people are giving that credit.
Go back. You're going over all this stuff so fast. I have questions about this game.
Sure.
This is what we're actually going to talk about.
All right.
Okay. The first part of what you said, the 2 packs.
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 packs a day. That's free, like 100%?
100%.
Like if you have the game downloaded, you just get the 2 packs.
Yep.
Because that was my question. I saw they showed like, the guy had his phone that would just pop up and say, you got a pack.
Mm-hmm.
You got a pack ready. I'm like, does he have like a subscription service? Is he paying like monthly for these packs to be delivered to him all day, every day? Because what is this? How much do the packs cost is another thing I'm wondering.
Yeah, we don't know that stuff yet.
And the other thing, before you move on further in this, you were talking about how it is basically a digital version of the trading card game. Yeah. And I know, I already said this, and I asked you how you felt about it, and I want to get your answer fully here. I'm somebody who is an all digital person when it comes to my games. And there's a lot of people who are like, fuck that. I want physical media.
Right.
Where do you sit on this as far as this being a digital version of a physical media type of thing? Does it replace it? I mean,
No.
Is this going to make people angry?
No, this is not this is not even their intention is not to replace the physical trading card game. Are you kidding?
I guess that would be the difference.
The amount of money. Listen, we talk about how
he's going to stop selling cards. I guess that would be the difference.
No,
you're right.
The intention here for them is clear. It's not to replace their physical cards. Maybe
it's to make
some
more
people,
money off them.
Anybody who collects the cards, they're not on the fence, being like, man, I like card collecting, but this whole physical thing of collecting cards, that's not for me. So I'm going to switch to digital. That's not even nobody buying Pokemon cards is on that fence. People who buy Pokemon cards are buying them because they like the cards.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
And the people who are going to play this digital version of the game are going to do it because they think it's neat. It's not because it's going to replace the old thing, or they didn't like collecting physical cards, but the digital cards, they like the idea of collecting those. That's not. It's those. Maybe some of those people exist, but I think for the most part, nobody's gonna be like, "Ooh, I've always wanted to collect digital cards." No, it's because they love Pokemon, and I've been on record on the podcast many times. I don't love Pokemon games. I never have been a big fan of their video games.
You really like
but I like the franchise.
Trading card game,
well,
though, right?
I'm a fan of the franchise. I love the merch. I love the TV show when I was a kid because it grew up with me. I watched 98, man. 98. I was 4 years old in 98. And that's when I started watching. It was 98. So I was watching that show like as a little kid. Like I want to be like Ash Ketchum, catch 'em all, or whatever.
98. Damn, what was I doing in 1998?
I think you're probably doing drugs, is my guess.
I was not yet. Maybe.
Oh,
That ain't
no.
true. What was going on in 1990? 2000 was 99? Ooh.
Yeah. So
I don't know, man.
So yeah,
I was worried about Y2K. I can tell you that for sure.
I bet.
Definitely.
I
worried
wasn't.
about
I was sucking on binky. But no, so I was actually 6 years old at Y2K. Anyway, so yeah, I am a fan of the franchise, and I think this is a really cool thing to have for people who just are fans of Pokemon. And I played Pokemon Go like the rest of the world. Don't lie. Everyone's played it. Don't lie. Everybody listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
I guarantee you at one point
play a
you
lot of it, but I
downloaded
did play
Pokemon
it.
Go
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
And I think this is not going to be that. This is not going to be like Pokemon 2. It's not going to have the same hype that game had. That game took over the fucking world.
Well, that was different. That
And,
was like
yeah.
a crazy thing. But I mean, I do agree with you. That was one thing from this direct that I did like, wow, that looks pretty cool. Especially when they did the thing like the immersive pictures like you were talking about.
Yes, that's my favorite
That's
thing.
very cool.
Yeah.
Like the art where you can go inside and like see there's other like Pokemon sitting around off screen. Like it's very cool.
It's important to me to bring this up because as I criticize and we criticize Pokemon Company for not taking the time with stuff, it seems like they're really taking the time here to create these, because they're pretty much recreations of real cards that you can actually buy, and they're taking their time to take those real cards and the real artwork that goes with them and taking them, and immersing them in some other new form of digital card, which I think it's awesome. You got to see it to believe it, or not see it to believe it. See it to believe it. No, you have to see it to really truly appreciate what they're doing with it. What are you waiting for? You have to see it to truly appreciate it, and I recommend you guys go and checking out the Pokemon Company's presents to see what they're doing with the cards. If you're at all interested, if you're not, obviously you're probably skip that at this point anyway.
Yeah, that was one thing. Not gonna do it. Don't really care about it that much, but I did think it was cool. That was probably the only thing. Pokemon Sleep. Can I just talk about that for just a second?
If you'd like, I'll give you the fucking floor drip. Here you go.
What the? No, I don't need the floor.
You're taking the
Come
floor.
back.
Nope,
I don't want the floor.
All right,
I
fine.
just want to know, what the fuck is it? What is it? What is it? Like what is the thing that you do with it? Like I still don't get it. I'm trying to figure out like what you do with it, and it's like I watch them try to explain it in these presents, and it's like the guy wakes up and now there's a Pokemon sleeping on his floor. It's like that's not.
That is
how
kind of
this
what
works.
that is kind of what I took away as well.
I'm
and
like, okay,
I don't get it either.
Like, you're gonna have some crazy dreams. This,
dude, you're sleeping there. You're like,
yeah,
and
you
you
just
wake
wake
up
up and there's just
and
like
there's a fucking Pokemon. What?
there's like a Charizard just staring at you in the dark from the corner. Like, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. This does not sound good. It does not sound like it's gonna help me sleep in the slightest. I just don't get
It's gonna give you
it. Like,
anxiety after you wake up. Like, oh my god,
is it a
please,
sleep
Lord.
tracker.
Let
What
it be
is
a
it? What
let
the
it be a
fuck is it for?
Let it be a Clefairy when I wake up, please. I just want to snuggle with it, not a fucking Charizard or. Oh, good Lord! If
Just
it's
in the corner in the dark,
it's
you can
Mewtwo.
just see, like, the-
It's Mewtwo.
Oh
And you went,
god, yeah, that'd be it.
I am going to murder you and your family.
You can't do that because I just had a fucking heart attack and died.
Yeah.
I just don't get that. I guess I should probably look into it because I probably sound dumb to the people who do use it and know what it is. But
Dude, I've no idea.
They do not do a good job explaining that whatsoever.
No.
I don't. It's a sleep tracker, I guess, right? And what do you get? You get Pokemon points for sleeping?
Yeah, I think at its core, it's some sort of like sleep tracker app, and the incentivized game portion of it is like you collect some sort of currency, Pokemon currency, as you sleep to encourage
So
you
if
to keep
sleep
playing.
well, you get more?
I have no idea.
Because I'll tell you right now, I know the fucking cheat code for this already. If that's it, I know the cheat code. You just take about 6-7 shots of bourbon before you go to bed, and you're out. You're done. You're sleeping like a rock. You're gonna wake up the next morning with the entire Pokedex filled up, dude. You're fine.
Yeah,
I don't know. I need to look into that because I'm so confused by that. We don't have to spend any more time on it.
Yeah. So obviously the last thing that was announced was the coolest. That was the header of this episode. Pokemon Legends. We got to finally drip. We got our Legends game we wanted. Legends ZA. And you kind of informed me. Didn't quite realize it. That is because it at text at the bottom, which apparently I completely missed.
It says right underneath the name.
I was having a morning though. That you know what happened that morning. But
yes.
So yeah, apparently it's 2 video games. Which is new for the Legend series, not for Pokemon, but for the Legend series. Yeah, the last Legend series obviously was just Pokemon Legends Arceus, which was a really good game. Had a lot of fun with it. Nothing to write home about, but it's a good game. So the successor to this game, I have high hopes for, because
of all the Pokemon game, I like that one the best.
Yeah, because when after Legends Arceus, they came out with Scarlet and Violet, which was vastly different. It went back to the original formula, which in my opinion is old and tired, and needs a change, which Arceus brought. And of course the glitches and bugs like galore in that game, which Arceus had a few, but nothing even close in comparison to Arceus.
You could play the game without just getting completely pissed off.
Yeah, you could do a playthrough without ever really experiencing any of those glitches in Arceus. Maybe
especially if you're in handheld, because you don't even notice some of it, man. Yeah, because it's just smaller. But I now listen. I'm not 100% on this. I haven't looked into it any deeper than what I saw, but it said they are releasing simultaneously in 2025. So to me, that says, okay, it's 2 games. They will release beside each other. So you'll get an A version and a Z version. But is this a continuation or a history of the, what is it, X and Y? Is that what this is?
Dude, I am not qualified to talk about that. We tried to get a Pokemon. We did try to get our resident Pokemon expert, Fappy, on.
Know me.
Fappy lives in a different universe in Australia, and it's very difficult to have him on during our time slots.
He's fighting giant spiders, and alligators and shit. He does not have time to just hop on this podcast anytime. That's fine. True. I totally get that.
That is true.
I do believe this is some type of. This does have some connection. You know, me not being a Pokemon person at all, I am fairly certain that this isn't like a Pokemon X, Y, Z type of thing. Maybe that's the A. It's a legend. So instead of going forward or forward in the alphabet, you go back to the beginning to A.
Z to A instead of A to Z.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure. So I
just cracked it. That's probably the whole story.
Sure thing. There's no gameplay attached to the trailer, so that's a little disappointing. So we don't get to see anything. We saw the logo and we saw the announcement that it was in 2025, and that's really all we have to go off of. And transitioning to that conversation, that means that the thing that I expected, a Pokemon game to come out in 2024, even that is happening in 2024. So what that means, number one, Arceus, or I'm sorry. Thank you, Drip. That means that ZA is a Switch 2 game. 100%. No doubt. There's no doubt. If the rumors are true, which a lot of them probably are, and our intuition at least is true, it's a Switch 2 game, which is very exciting for me. That we're gonna have a Switch 2 game or a Pokemon game with the Switch 2 relatively early in its life. That's exciting.
Well, let's look at this a little deeper too. Just the history of the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, and Nintendo when it comes to putting out Pokemon games. You think there's any way in hell that this game wouldn't be coming out in 2024, making the holidays, if it wasn't for the Switch 2 being delayed into 2025.
I'm sorry. I was reading chat. You explained.
I'm saying that there's absolutely no way that this game would have not released in 2024 if the Switch 2 was already going to be out. There's no way they were going to miss the holidays. The Pokemon Company, with what we've seen them do.
Yeah.
There's no way. I think this is a sure 100% guarantee at this point that the rumors of the 2025 stuff for the Switch 2, it's all but confirmed because of that for me.
I didn't look at it through that through that lens, Drip. I didn't think about it like that. That's actually a good point, that they wouldn't have missed the Pokemon Company not taking their time with games all the time.
The history.
This isn't just we're gonna bake this in the oven a little bit longer, which I was hoping that was the case, and the result ends up being that. So yeah, that's good. But you're right. There was no way, if the Switch 2 was actually having a 2024 release, that the Pokemon Company wasn't going to miss out. They were going to cut their deadlines down by a few months. If let's say it originally was 2025, they were going to say, okay, actually no, it's 2024 because that's when this thing's coming out. We need this game in time for the holiday. So that game would have been out in October. Yep. I think you're right about that. I think you nailed it. Honestly.
So let me ask you this too. We didn't really get to see anything of the game. It was basically they started drawing some stuff, and it was kind of like a futuristic, like holographic looking. You know what I mean? Like it was like Pikachu, but he was see through. He didn't really have any eyes, which was kind of disturbing. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
But it kind of looked cool. It clearly wasn't any in-game footage. I don't really know what that tells us. They didn't show us anything, but with the time, the extra time that they have now for this debate, do you think that this is actually going to be a good thing and they're actually going to have more time and really be able to do something with this? Or do you think we're going to see that same thing we just saw and then they put color to it and we get to see it again and it's just the same shit turd that we get from everything else that they put out? Or is it actually going to be like a next gen, next level looking game? What do you think?
Man, holy crap, dude.
Yeah. Because it could go either way at this point.
It is 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, it is truly 50-50.
I think it's a little more leaning that we're going to get close to the same thing.
Yeah, I think the Edge is a similar product.
But it's possible.
I really do.
It's possible.
Here's the thing, though. With better hardware does leave room for error. And at least...
God,
if it's all
figured out the Switch yet.
At least if it's on better hardware, then because that was the biggest issue with Scarlet and Violet, is that not the game or not that the Switch couldn't handle it, is that it wasn't optimized for this hardware. So a lot of the all of the glitches pretty much were because of the optimization. But some things like frame rate, stutter, and there's some. I'm not that smart, guys. But some of that stuff is definitely. What do you play?
I don't know. It's like something good.
I saw your finger go over to the soundboard. Gonna play something. Oh, okay. It's just one of those days. I'm not that smart, so I don't know a lot about, as far as what things are hardware related versus what are optimization things. But certainly some of the issues that Scarlet and Violet and hopefully this, or potentially the Legends series games are going to have on Switch 2. Some of those things might be fixed just with some extra headroom, from hardware-wise, from a hardware standpoint. So, but as far as like the optimization, which is the most issues happen because of the lack of optimization, are they going to fix that stuff with this new release? Man, I hope so. They better. But the thing is, Drip, Arceus didn't have a lot of those awful optimization problems. It was properly optimized, but for the most part.
Arceus was still Game Freak, right?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. I think I confused Arceus a little bit with Shining Pearl and Blue Diamond or whatever.
No. Okay.
Because
those games did not do that.
But they came out very close together. That was the holiday game of 2021, and Arceus was January 2022. So it's sometimes I get confused that Arceus was Game Freak or not because the other one wasn't. But yeah, I think Arceus was Game Freak.
Okay. Also, I do want to just add in the chat here. Matthew says this game is in the same region as X and Y were. So
yeah, so
that's cool.
Maybe that has something to do with the leak that was going on this year, where X and Y were coming to Switch.
That's true.
Maybe somebody got their information twisted intentionally. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. The most interesting part of this by far is when they actually show us this. What is this going to look like with their extra time? Because I'm telling you what, at this point, every time we talk about Pokemon in this show, it's something about slow the fuck down, get some help, do it the right way, stop just pushing shit out. Now they have an opportunity. Even if they were forced into it, they have the opportunity to do that. Everything is going to be pushed now.
Yeah.
Just because of this one thing, it's going to be a domino effect. This could be great for them going down the road in their development times, in everything, really. But if they don't do anything with it, I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm done with this company. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, I'm not really in on Pokemon. I just play a lot.
I'm not either, but I'm just saying.
I fell in love with Scarlet and Violet when it came out, and that doesn't mean that it's more like a hookup for me. It's definitely not like a long, like the whole Scarlet and Violet thing with me. I made a video about it. Excuse me. I stand by everything I said. Excuse me. I burps. I stand by everything that I said. Okay. But if we're going to compare this to relationships, Scarlet and Violet was a hookup. That was a one-time thing. It was a really, really good time. We had a great time, let me tell you. However, after a certain point, which is about 80 hours of gameplay, I was a little bit tired of it, and I ended up playing overall, before it was all said and done, 110 hours, which is a whole fuck ton.
And this was Arceus?
No, Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's Scarlet and Violet. And that happened within a month period. And after that month, I looked at that girl, and I was like, where are you? You're the good looks that I once saw of you. I was like, where'd they go? I don't know what I saw in you, but I moving on immediately.
Man.
As far as what's gonna happen with I'm gonna say Arceus 2 a million. This is like Breath of the Wild 2.
Legends.
I know, but this is gonna be very similar to Breath of the Wild 2. You know, I mean, how we kept saying Breath of the Wild 2 after Tears of the Kingdom was coming out. I'm gonna say Arceus 2 a lot until I get it right. But Legends coming out on Switch 2, it's got to swing, man. It's got to at least be better than Arceus, right? It's got to be better than Arceus. It's got to look better. It's got to look better than Arceus, and Arceus is already a step up from Scarlet and Violet. So it needs to be at least 2 steps better than Scarlet and Violet.
I like the way the setting looks
and
for this
no
already,
glitches.
Though.
I will tolerate 0, stupid glitches, and I'm not talking about like in Zelda where there's like dupe glitches and stuff like that. That's people taking advantage of things.
You're talking about people falling through the floor and their heads spinning off their bodies and their arms going through their torsos.
So those issues, I think those are the more obscure ones that most people didn't experience that often, which was causing this debate with people that was some people. Oh, I didn't see that.
Still hilarious.
But the more realistic ones that everybody was having was like lighting glitches. I think like you're just walking along and suddenly there's a giant shadow of a mountain, and you take one step forward and that giant shadow of a mountain just suddenly goes away, and it's like, and then you take another step and it's back and it's back and away. Very jarring. Stuttering, everyone was experiencing that was happening in everybody's game, and there's a few other things that were happening in everybody's game. But that didn't happen in Arceus.
It didn't happen in Arceus.
No, those ones need to be gone. But the reason I say it's still, even though this is a successor to Arceus, it's still Game Freak, the same company, and the game that succeeded Arceus was the one with all the issues. So we have to bring it up. It's still a relevant point to say that
crazy is the
bugs
one
could come back.
before Sword and Shield was kind of bad, but it wasn't as bad as the newer one.
Right.
Okay, either way, I do want to say this. I said it a minute ago, I don't think you heard me, but I do like already. They had that like really old school style in Arceus, like very, I don't know, old worldy. You know what I mean?
Kind of like ancient. It's an ancient world. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like the fact that this one looks like high tech, like a city, like Tron kind of. Like I'm into that. I hope they keep that kind of vibe. That looks really awesome. I would be way more interested in exploring a place like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's going to be other areas, but I was kind of into that.
Yeah,
I wanted to see more. I was waiting for the color to go on everything. They were just like, nope, we're going to give you outlines for now because we can't show you Switch 2 footage yet.
Right. I think one of the things that I really liked about Arceus was the ancient style, and one might think that I would dislike this futuristic style, and one would be wrong if you think that. I think the change up is great. I think it's
I like the old style. I like the old style too.
In fact, it makes me incredibly curious about what the shtick's gonna be with Legends, because Legends Z, because with Arceus, a lot of the game design, a lot of things I liked about it were this old style, because the world was old, the Pokeball look and feel, like the ancient,
back in the beginning,
the music was very. Like everything I liked about Arceus was a lot to do with that ancient vibe. So the futuristic thing, how are they going to make that?
I mean, I hate to go back to it, but it's the Breath of the Wild vibe that it had.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's because Breath of the Wild had a lot of ruins and very ancient feeling, because it's 1,000 years ago. The world it's been dormant for 1,000 years because of Ganon, right? So yeah, that's true. It's a lot of breath, but I think it was still its own way. I would not say that it copied.
Oh
Breath of the
yeah.
Wild.
I mean, everybody was.
We
comparing it
made
to
fun of
Breath
the game before the game came out. We definitely made fun of the game.
Oh yeah, even the trailer looked exactly like the Breath of the Wild trailer.
The trailer,
like,
the cover
artwork. He's on the
artwork.
side of a mountain. Look at that pan out over the giant world. Wow, they did it too. Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
this seems the same too. So is that one.
Right.
I mean, they did do that. It's whatever. The game was different. It was still, you could tell. There was inspiration, but I mean, a lot of games have taken inspiration from Breath of the Wild. It's not a big thing. This one's going to be completely different, though. I am excited to see what it is.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see exactly what it looks like. Because man,
we wait and see, Drip. We wait and see. Got a whole year to figure it out. However, what we don't have a year to figure out is whether or not you are a YouTube member of ours. That's right, Drip. That's right. This podcast is sponsored by us and our YouTube memberships. If you guys are not a YouTube member, please consider it. We have 2 tiers now. A $2.99 tier gets you all of the private member live streams just to you guys and the VODs to those live streams. So if you miss one, you can still go back and watch it. You can even leave us comments if there's something you want to say live that you missed because you weren't there. You can just leave us a comment and we'll respond to it. It's great. It's memberships. Also, then that's the new tier. It's a little bit more affordable for you guys. So hopefully it's a more affordable entry to our community, as well as the $4.99 tier sticks around, guys. It sticks right around, and you get all the same perks. And I'll remind you, it's all the same stuff from the $2.99 tier. But in addition, you get some behind the scenes updates, like when my PC broke yesterday or a couple days ago. I let you guys know about what was going on with that. And there's a couple other things you guys can check out what those things are that I can't quite remember.
They're great though. They're wonderful things. They really are.
I got a lot on my brain right now, but that's not one of them.
You're gonna want those things.
Go ahead and check that in the description. You can see, click a link there and become a member. And make sure, and I'm just a warning, if you're on an iPhone, it's weird. YouTube is weird with the memberships. So sometimes it doesn't show up for you guys. So either go in a browser or force your browser to desktop mode.
Yes, it works in a browser. If you just open it from something where it takes you to the browser, don't go to the just don't go to the app and it works fine.
Yeah,
I've tried it like
that'd
that.
Be
anyway,
youtube.com/dripjeeb/memberships is a direct link to our memberships tab. So you can check out that. Drip 2024, man.
Done. Just go to bed. Time to hibernate.
It's as of recording, it is February 28th. Tomorrow's Happy Leap Day. Happy Leap Day to everybody. But
Pokemon was our only hope, really.
It kind of was. I mean, that doesn't mean that there's no announcements coming this year.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it means.
And we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about Shush Drip. We'll talk about that in a moment. But
as spicy ones.
As far as essentially March of 2024, we have zilch updates. We still haven't even gotten dates for the stuff that we know it's coming, and it's only 2 stuff: Luigi's Mansion and Thousand Year Door. We did 2 stuffs. Is that what I said?
You said 2 stuffs.
Only
2 stuffs.
I'm an idiot.
No, I thought you meant to do it. I loved it.
Actually, Jeremy, I didn't put this in. I didn't put this in the notes, but I did forget to add here that we did get leaked prices of both the games, Luigi's Mansion and Thousand Year Door.
60.
They are both $60.
I figured.
Now let's take a tangent on that for a moment, because that is actually something I want to talk about. How do you feel about a 3DS game that is basically a port? It's not really a remake. It's just a port with upscaled to HD, which you could do with fucking ChatGPT, I'm sure, for $60.
I don't like that one.
That is a tough
especially
pill to swallow.
Okay, here's the problem I have with it, is the way that it looks, because we've seen what it looks like. Unless we see it again and it looks absolutely amazing, like just like Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't it? If you're gonna charge $60 for it, why doesn't it just look like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's a game worth $60.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like it. Doesn't surprise me at all. Not even a little bit.
Actually, kind of makes me angry. If I'm being honest with you, I feel anger about it, that they're really taking advantage. They're taking advantage, people. It's just straight up, like, no doubt. You know, we praise Nintendo.
I feel like taking advantage of people.
I will criticize Nintendo, and right now they are, because what if you want to? They're saying, you know, don't emulate our games, guys. That's naughty. But we're gonna bring and you guys want us to bring our games to Switch? Fine, here you go, $60.
They're not holding a gun to anybody's head and saying, you have to buy this.
No, but they're taking advantage of them because you don't have to do it. But if you do,
you don't.
You got to pay our price, which doesn't make any goddamn sense. And let's move.
It's not like they're tricking them into buying it, saying, oh, no, it's 40. Psych, we're taking another 20.
No,
I mean, but here they're giving them a choice.
No.
It's
right.
It's a shit price. I agree. For that, shit price. 1,000-year door. We'll see. I mean, that one looks a little bit like it looks better, right?
It's an HD upscale. It's a widescreen HD upscale.
So that's it.
Dude, it's Paper Mario, dude. What are you supposed to do to it?
I don't know. I mean, not 1,000.
It hardly looks any different.
Origami King looked wonderful.
Yeah, but it hardly looks any different than if you look at. Here's what I want to bring up. I don't want to argue about how good it looks versus the original.
Okay.
Here's why it's also a bad deal. You got to go back not too long ago. Last year, 2023, they shadow dropped a game from the GameCube.
Nope. Yep.
That game was a full-on remaster. That game looks different. When you look at the original and you look at the remastered Metroid Prime remastered, it's a vast difference. Everybody can tell the difference. My fiance could tell the difference, and she doesn't give a shit about games like we do. And she goes, "Oh yeah, that looks amazing."
Oh well, no, it's insane. Again, yeah, Metroid Prime Remaster is probably one of the best looking games on the Nintendo Switch.
For how much, Drip?
For $40.
Mm-hmm. Now, explain to me how an HD port.
And it was shadow dropped. My God.
Explain to me.
Fuck that day.
Explain to me how an HD port from the same company is suddenly $60, where last year it was $40.
Well, because they got nothing else to make them money, Jeep. It's only 2 games they got out. They got to charge for them, and people are going to be starved of games at that point on the Switch, so they're going to buy them.
Exhibit A of why I think you're taking advantage of people. You just made my point for me. You just talked yourself into my point.
No, I mean, you're right. But again, I mean, taking advantage of, I don't know. The taking advantage of the situation, yes. But I mean, they still put it's choice. It's still a choice.
Yeah, I guess if you want to say that specifically, I'd be down to re-clarify what I mean. Taking advantage of the situation is really what I mean.
Yeah.
But the situation is people buying games and there's nothing to buy. What's not intentionally is not the right word. They have made the market not that good with my awful English. The market sucks for Nintendo right now. The market for Nintendo games is nothing. Besides, I'm talking about new things that are coming out.
And we got Peach coming out, man.
The new games coming out for Nintendo, it's barren. And that's a problem they've created themselves. And they're going to charge more for the games during this period because for the problem they created, it's called, Drip, inflating the market.
So what do we have right now?
Peach and those 2 ports. And that's all we got.
And that's 2024. That's 2025, we have Pokemon. So right now, 4 games that we know for sure are coming out. I mean, we know Metroid Prime in the next 4 is out there somewhere.
3 in the next 8 months.
We don't have any type of date, or we don't know anything about it. So that's it. I feel like, Jeep, there's a little bit of room to add a couple more in there.
Oh, no.
I feel like there is.
You know what we need, Drip? You know what we need?
Just a little bit of room.
Hold on. You keep talking.
Maybe do something, I don't know. Maybe something a little dark towards the end of the year. And maybe in the summer, do something that deals with, I don't know, the water, sailing, whatever, you know. Jeep, it's still February. So as per our deal, I am contractually still allowed to talk about the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports coming to the Switch, and with this Pokemon game coming out next year, basically proving to me that the rumors, the leaks are right. The Switch 2 is coming out in 2025. I think it is a fucking guarantee that we get both of these games now, not in a double pack. We will get them both this year. They will be staggered releases. Wind Waker, and I am a leaker now. Don't forget about that.
Yeah.
Now, we will get Wind Waker in the summer. We will get an announcement of this probably pretty soon. We're gonna get Wind Waker in the summer, and we're gonna get Twilight Princess closer to September or October in the fall.
Drip, I know you couldn't hear the music there, but I just had the Wind Waker theme playing out throughout your whole spiel.
Oh, nice. I love that. I can't wait to go back and watch that. I might actually record it and just make it a video on my channel.
You owe
I'm
me
telling you, I'm a leaker now.
You would
I'm a
owe me an edit for that because that's my footage.
Oh, what the fuck? we're splitting hairs here now. Splitting
That's right.
here.
You don't pay me anyway.
Hey, whoa,
Gotcha.
whoa. Come and get it.
Come and get it. Let's go. Come on. I'm ready. Let's go.
No.
Oops.
Okay. I know you keep telling me they're not coming. With all of our current information, and I mean, we don't have anything set in stone at this point.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure about the 2025 thing. Looks a little better now, doesn't it? Looks just a little bit better.
I think after this Pokemon news, I agree that it's more possible than it was before the Pokemon thing. However, because I have an illness and I must be consistent, which is the thing I wish our politicians had, is I think, Drip, that the time has passed. The time has passed. If they would have put it out, they would have done it already. At least an announcement. But they don't even have, dude. They didn't even put out a direct at the beginning of the year like they usually do.
Right, because they don't have enough shit.
They don't
have enough stuff.
Listen, they could have did a direct mini with fucking Zelda. Why didn't they do that?
Or they could drop it on Twitter the next week. Oh, are you ready for this?
Why did you drop it on Twitter in February, Drip? Why didn't they do that?
Stop it.
Why did they drop it in January?
Are you ready?
Come and get it.
It's just one of those days.
All right. Listen, I'm a leaker now. We've established this. I called the direct a month in advance. Never wavered. I'm a leaker now. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to announce the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess coming this year on Twitter. And they're going to do it probably the week after Princess Peach drops. So, if I'm looking at a calendar, which I'm going to do here, because we're going to go on record, because I'm a leaker, we're going to do this. I am going to say that that face. Oh, God, that face. Audio listeners, I wish you could see this. It's making me a little nervous. Okay, 22nd. We will see the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess announced probably through a Twitter drop on March 27th.
Come and get it.
Are you done? You done with your Zelda?
I'm done. That's all
I'm obligated for the next 2 days, and thanks to the leap year, it is 2 days.
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Drip is allowed to talk about the Zelda for the Switch, and he is no longer allowed as of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or should I say, tomorrow
after today's show, I'm not allowed to talk about it on the show
at 12 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, which is technically 2 days from now, he is no longer allowed to speak about Zelda. So I had to give him his time. I gave him his Wind Waker theme, twice even. So
I got it again?
Oh yeah, the face I made, Wind Waker is blasting.
I love that. Yeah. Your face was terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Moving on. I don't even want to rebuttal. I don't even want to. You say what you say, Drip, about Zelda. Yeah, but I mean that for real though. Before we end this podcast, what is gonna another episode where we need to make a prediction? I feel like at the end of every episode, until we get something, either a direct announcement, a direct mini announcement, any type of direct, or a Switch 2 announcement. Every podcast is gonna end with what the hell is happening in 2024.
Hey, there were three, by the way, from last week. I heard 3 other times that it changed to the release date this past week. 3. I'm all in 2025. Don't you remember we said how many more dates are we gonna hear about just this week? I heard 3.
I didn't.
I think you guessed 3. I said 5. I think.
Okay,
but you won.
I nailed it. There you go.
Yeah, I think you won.
I've never. This is the first game I've won on this show. That means we need to play the draft stuff, which I already played. Drip. Don't worry. Don't click it.
Okay, good.
But that means that's the first game I've won on this show.
No, you won one of the direct things once.
Did I?
Or no, you won a draft.
Did I win a draft? I don't think I did. I didn't win any drafts.
I just lost. It was when we had Zach on. Maybe Zach won, but I
Maybe.
lost badly.
Going
You
back
guys
a year
both
ago.
beat me.
No, yeah, I've never won this is the first time I won it when I just randomly said the word 3. And apparently that
You did really well.
I did. We need to do a draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeeve is also now a leaker. He's also a leaker.
Honored. I would like to thank my fiance. I would like to thank this PC that I
They
love
call him Leaky
so much.
Jeeb.
Leaky Jeeb. That's my name. That's what they called me in high school. Yeah, Drip. I wish we had more content for you guys in terms of concrete shit. I will say this though. We have a special room in our Discord that is private to me and Drip where we put podcast ideas in.
We do.
And there's lots of ideas here that do not involve switch to actually there's a whole section here called switch to pod ideas. So there is a lot of switch to ideas.
No, that never happened. We don't have that.
But we do. There's lots of we have lots of little things here that we planned for a week where there's not much going on. And I think this week counted for Pokemon purposes. Like Pokemon, it was Pokemon Day, Pokemon Presents. That was enough to warrant an episode for. But if there's something that is not going on in the news cycle that is that we care about, we got lots of ideas. So stick around if you're tired of the same old kind of conversation here.
Oh, I see one. That's Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD remakes.
Yeah, when's that post? When is that thought dated?
February 22nd.
Oh, did
2024?
I do that? I must have did that recently.
Yes. See, you want it too. Don't give me shit. You want it too.
Listen, I want the games. Don't get me wrong, man. I want the games.
I do. Oh, and listen, there's gonna be a video up Friday, but at the same time, I talk about it in the video too, Jeeb. There's gonna be a poll. There's going to be a poll on my community tab for my Twitch. I'm going to replay one of those games, one of the two on stream. I'm going to let the people decide.
Not on YouTube, right?
No, on Twitch. It's going to be
Can
on
you play
Twitch,
your
on my
boo
Twitch,
sound?
where I stream.
I want the boo sound.
Where I stream.
The boo.
You want a boo sound?
Yeah, I want a boo sound.
No, I'm going to do it on Twitch where I stream.
I don't dislike Twitch. Don't get me wrong. I like you stream on Twitch. I really wish you'd stream on YouTube sometimes.
I will not. I'm streaming on Twitch.
I wish.
I
see. I see.
Done moving around. Done flip flopping.
Not flip flopping. I see your analytics now. It says people like the live streams. It says it right
that's
there.
not true.
It says it in the analytics. It says it.
It doesn't. I don't care what the analytics say. It's wrong because I know what happens.
I don't know,
We're
man.
keeping it on Twitch. It's going to be fun. We're either going to do Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. I don't know which one yet, but one of them we are going to do maybe once a week. Maybe twice a week. I don't know. It depends on how hard we get into it, but just until it's done. I was doing Prince of Persia, but it's fine. I don't know. I want to play Zelda. I want to play Fortnite. I want to play Zelda. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play what I want to play.
I want to play with my fiance. Don't take that sound clip out of context. That means that Mrs. G Mondays are coming back, which is exciting for the Twitch people who hang out on Twitch over there. So I don't know. Next Monday, obviously today's a Wednesday, so in a few days on the Monday.
What happened to tomorrow?
Well, I'm getting there. So
okay.
Just because of context, it's Mrs. G Mondays, and if I start off by saying tomorrow, Thursday, is Mrs. G Mondays, they'd be a little confused. So
they would be. You're
so
right.
I'm saying
context.
That the next Monday we should have Mrs. G Monday for you. However, Drip jumped the gun. Tomorrow night, which is a Thursday, Mrs. Jeeb and I are going to do our best to get I said member stream, to get a Mrs. Jeeb Mondays stream on the Twitch side. She works, right? She comes home from work. So we'll see how she feels after work. But I'm pretty confident that we're going to get it done. So that's exciting.
I feel confident in that as well.
Cool. I also feel confident about ending this podcast. Those of you who are listening to this show, it's going to be over for you. Those of you watching in the stream, hang around. I can't, my words tonight.
Either one's fine.
Hang out in the stream. We're hanging out for a little bit more.
Just do both. Get crazy.
We're hanging out, guys, for the after show. But for the rest of you guys, we're going to see you guys next week.
Peace.